The goal of many space agencies at the moment is to explore the Martian surface and identify if there's any life currently on or underneath the planet's surface. Various Mars rovers have made discoveries that have helped us to better understand the Martian terrain, weather and overall environment. These rovers even have onboard laboratories, meaning they can conduct a variety of different experiments while on the Red Planet. NASA said the following on their website. The Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission is part of NASA's Mars exploration program, a long-term effort of robotic exploration on the Red Planet. The mission addresses high-priority science goals for Mars exploration, including key questions about the potential for life on Mars. Perseverance takes the next step by not only seeking signs of habitable conditions on Mars, but also searching for signs of past microbial life itself. The rover introduces a drill that can collect core samples of the most promising rocks and soils, and set them aside in a cache on the surface of Mars. A future mission could potentially return these samples to Earth. That would help scientists study these samples in laboratories, with special room-size equipment that would be too large to take to Mars." End quote. Ever since the Perseverance rover was launched though, various online users have reported seeing mysterious artifacts on the surface, with one of the most recent ones being this one. It was shared to online groups that investigate strange artifacts on the Martian surface, and those who saw the image agreed that it looks like mold or mushrooms growing on the rock. Some users said that the fungus grew on the Martian surface within a few days, and said that they don't look like pieces of rock. Others carried on from this and said that for years NASA has been capturing life on Mars, but has failed to further examine these photographs. Dr. Regina Das, of the Department of Microbiology School of Life Sciences in India, said that the photographs are interesting, saying the following: "There are no geological or other forces on Earth which can produce sedimentary structures, by the hundreds which have mushroom shapes. Stems, stalks and shed what looks like spores on the surrounding surface. In fact, 15 specimens were photographed by NASA growing out of the ground in just 3 days." Although Dr. Edwin Kind, a planetary geoscientist at the University of Chicago, said the following: "I don't know who reviewed the paper, but I would take away their license as a biologist, especially as a microbiologist. These features are well understood. They are abiotic features caused by siltation abrasion or wind erosion. Numerous examples have been inspected by rovers. They are not fungi." End quote. Dr. Vincenzo Rizzo, a National Research Council biologist, also made some interesting comments about the photographs, saying the following: "As we detail in our article, 90% of terrestrial methane is biological in origin, and seasonal fluctuations in atmospheric methane are directly correlated with plant growth and death cycles. The cyclic fluctuations in Martian methane is reflected of active biology, which is also depicted in before and after pictures of specimens photographed by NASA." Interestingly, some took this further and said that NASA need to be held accountable for not investigating these photographs. Going back in 2014, it was announced that NASA was being sued because they didn't investigate an alleged life form on the Red Planet. The original image showed what looked like a Mars rock appearing in front of the Mars rover, and when people saw it they claimed that it must have been proof of life on Mars. Mr. Joseph was one of the individuals behind the claim, and said that NASA should be investigating what appears to be alien life on Mars, but said that it's odd that NASA refuses to look into what was captured by the Martian rover. Mr. Joseph said the following about the image: "It's actually a mushroom-like fungus, a composite organism consisting of colonies of bacteria, and these can be found on Earth. I want to compel and order the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and its chief administrator Charles Bolden to perform a public scientific and statutory duty, which is to closely photograph and thoroughly scientifically examine and investigate a biological organism, which was identified and thus discovered and photographed on Mars by NASA's Rover Opportunity in January 2014, and which NASA referred to in a press release as unlike anything we've seen before. We are totally confused. Although it sounds like an odd request, NASA themselves did say that the photograph was of interest. In fact, Steve Squires reported that the origin of the artifact is a mystery, and that he and his team who further looked into it couldn't explain what it was, and were baffled by its appearance. The team did say though that it's likely not a rock, but that it could be something like a meteorite. Another idea was that this could just be a rock that was flipped. Online users though don't buy into this idea, and have asked NASA to conduct further research around the area to determine what the object is. As of right now, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration have said that these photographs don't show life, and that they have examined some of these alleged artifacts further and no life was present. Again though, some have criticised the space agency and said that some of these discoveries have been left, and that they're only brought to light when amateur researchers happen to find them in NASA's Mars library. NASA officials have also said that people should only listen to them and their scientists when it comes to Mars discoveries, saying that they're the ones who know about what's going on in and around Mars, and that anyone telling you that there's life on Mars is wrong, and that these claims are not backed up with scientific evidence. These photographs are currently being shared around social media. The image shows what many are saying is a Bigfoot. Jacksonville, Florida's Facebook page posted the following statement. The Sheriff's Department just validated the photos, and the Finding Bigfoot team has been deployed. I will update as information comes in. A Florida man is happy to be safe at home after a scary incident. John Doe spotted a Bigfoot in the woods on the water's edge and took these amazing photographs of the beast. He said the following. At first I thought it was a grizzly bear, but once I got a better look I realized that it was definitely a Sasquatch. The Sheriff's Department is currently examining these photographs, but they're expected to verify their authenticity soon. This is a developing story, more to come. End quote. When the photographs were shared online, many said they are some of the best that have been shared in recent years, noting that this could be the real deal. Many people then shared their own experience with Bigfoot, with some users saying that these creatures can be found all across the United States, while others said that this isn't actually a Bigfoot, but rather the skunk ape, another large bipedal creature that's said to live in the US. For years now, residents across America have reported encountering these mysterious creatures, saying that they are notoriously difficult to photograph, and that you don't usually run into them because they keep their distance, saying that they can sense you from a mile off, and will be gone before you can reach them. But every so often someone is able to capture some interesting images of these creatures, leaving us to question whether they're real or not. Those that have allegedly encountered them have said they are genuine, and that there's a small population of them spread throughout America. One user said the following. These photographs are really interesting, and they remind me of the stories that my dad shared with me. He said that in all of his years of hunting he only encountered 2 Bigfoot, saying that they are incredibly shy and don't often approach humans. One time he told me that he saw a large figure hiding behind a large stack of trees. He said that when he was around 50 meters from it he suddenly realized that it wasn't a human, but was actually a large Bigfoot. He didn't approach any further and backed off immediately. He said it was strange because at one point all of the wildlife in the area went silent, and he thinks this is because of the Bigfoot. To this day he swears by what he saw, and is a firm believer that Bigfoot is out there. Another user had this to say: "I'm on the fence with Bigfoot. I really want to believe that is real. I've heard some interesting stories about them, which have come from credible sources. I've also heard some out there theories as to why we can never find them, some of which link them to the UFO phenomena. I hope these photographs are real. I really want to believe." While some skeptics in the comment section weren't buying the photographs, saying the following: "I don't think this is a Bigfoot. To me it just looks like a man in a suit, possibly a hunter wearing some kind of camouflage. The photographs are quite clear, which makes me think that the person in question wasn't too far away, and the original photographer didn't want to get too close, otherwise it would have been obvious that it was someone in camouflage. There's no way that a Bigfoot creature exists. We would have found evidence of it by now, and if their size is in fact true, then you would need a large population of them to exist. We've never found any genuine footprints or skeletons of this creature. It's not real." End quote. Those who have researched Bigfoot sightings have said there's some things that you should look out for, noting that one of these signs of a Bigfoot is that of broken branches. Bigfoot researchers have said that you can often hear them breaking branches if you're alone, and that if you follow the sound you won't normally find a Bigfoot, as they'll be gone before you can reach the area, but you might find some of the snapped branches. They've said that they're unsure as to why they do this, but said it could be them creating dens, or they could do this to communicate with one another. Bigfoot sightings and encounters aren't anything new. Reports of these elusive creatures have been reported for hundreds of years now, and there's some that think these could be animals that are unknown to science. It's important to remember that the mountain gorilla was only discovered in 1902. It's for this reason that some Bigfoot researchers have theorized that it's a large ape that roams the Americas, and that it's able to avoid humans. After all, there's countless stories of ancient humans having run-ins with large bipedal ape-like creatures. These reports have come in from America, Australia, and Asia. In fact, early mountain climbers would report seeing large hairy men high up in the mountains, claiming that they towered above them and were the gatekeepers of the mountains. As of right now, those scientists have said there's no such creature, and that the reports that are coming in can be easily explained, with them noting that the majority of these sightings are either pareidolia, or someone misidentifying another human as a Bigfoot. Some trained hikers and officials disagree with these statements, and have said that there's various hotspots throughout the United States where these creatures live, with national parks allegedly being a hotspot for these cryptids. Many have come forward and said that while hiking, it feels as if low and high-pitched sounds are following them. Some believe that there could be creatures lurking in our national parks that are causing disappearances. The Apollo missions will forever go down in history. Back in November of 1969, NASA launched the Apollo 12 lunar mission. The mission was a success, and the United States Space Agency was able to land a man on the moon for a second time, proving to everyone that NASA was quickly becoming the go-to agency when it came to space exploration. As stated on the NASA website, the primary mission objectives of the second crewed lunar landing included an extensive series of lunar exploration tasks by the Lunar Module, or LM crew, as well as the deployment of the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package, or ALSEP, which was meant to be left on the moon's surface to gather seismic, scientific and engineering data throughout a long period of time. While on the moon, many photographs were taken and sent back to NASA, but as the space agency mentioned before, not all of these have been seen by human eyes, and because of this, amateur researchers have taken it upon themselves to scan through them, in the hopes that they might find something mysterious lurking in the background. Although most of the images contain nothing of interest, every so often someone will find an anomaly that can't always be explained. One photograph taken during this mission is this one, but when you zoom in you can clearly see that there's something odd hovering in the background. Those who've seen the image have said that it looks like a UFO, and that it appears to be in the shape of a disc, matching the older style of UFOs that were captured during the 1930s and 1940s. What's interesting about this photograph is that some who've studied mysterious flying objects have detailed that this is how they fly, noting that many of these UFOs that have been tracked by militaries across the world state that they fly at this angle. As with many of these photographs, online users have said that these mysterious objects can be found throughout NASA's library, and that they don't give an answer of what it is they captured. Oddly enough, one user even stated that this photograph sometimes doesn't appear on the official NASA website, with them saying that when they've tried to access the page it doesn't open. Although as of right now the page is loading, and the same anomaly can be seen in the background. Others went down a different route and suggested that it might have been something like a high-tech drone, noting that astronauts and NASA employees have said that their instruments and equipment were buzzed by mysterious crafts on the moon. Interestingly, these comments didn't come from random people. They came from those that have actually experienced and been to space, giving photographs like these more credibility. One idea was that this could be the mysterious Blacklight Satellite. The Blacklight Satellite is said to be a strange satellite that was placed above our planet in order to spy on the human race. Scientists have said there's around 3,000 human-made satellites in orbit around the Earth. After the Soviet Union launched the very first artificial satellite into orbit in 1957, various countries around the world have sought to compete, and satellites today are used for communication, navigation and exploration. The Blacklight Satellite though is said to be different, and was allegedly placed there in order to spy on human activities. Those who have researched it have said the satellite must be one of the oldest ones currently orbiting our planet, and that it wasn't placed there by humans. This idea then suggests that the satellite is much older than any human civilization, causing some to speculate that it could be thousands of years old. Theorists have said that the ancient object is transmitting signals deep into space. This mysterious satellite has been featured in the media since the 1950s, and it has become one of the most talked about objects in space. One of the first people to allegedly pick up on the object was that of Nikola Tesla, a Serbian-American inventor. Those who've been looking for signs of extraterrestrial life report that this satellite is one of the best pieces of evidence that we have so far. As of today, even scientists are opening up to the idea of advanced civilizations, with them saying that there's millions of galaxies spread throughout the universe, and in each one of these there's hundreds of billions of planets, which could be teeming with life. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that one of these civilizations could have sent a satellite into the cosmos. After all, the human race has sent many different messages out into space. Officially, scientists have said that we've never had a reply, but others who believe in the UFO phenomena have said that we've already been visited, and that some of these events can't be explained using everyday explanations. It's important to note that researchers and scientists have said the Blacklight Satellite is not real, and that what people are seeing is just pieces of space junk. The space above our planet is littered with old satellite materials, with some researchers saying that space debris that's high in altitude will stay in orbit the longest, with low orbit objects dropping back to the Earth within several years. One user said the following about the image: "It definitely looks like it's hovering just above the moon, although the perspective could be off, and it could actually be higher than it looks on the photograph. It is strange though, and it does look like it's observing them from a distance. It makes you wonder what these strange objects could be. How much longer do we keep saying that these are space debris? Surely there has to come a point when we become more open-minded and actually start looking at alternative theories. I don't think it will happen anytime soon, but I think we should at least look at other possibilities." End quote. So what do you make of this mysterious photograph? Do you think it shows an unidentified flying object, or is it just a piece of space debris? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.